Okay, so I'm just making this video to talk about a scam message I got today on Instagram. If you're wondering where the regular fitness content is, the answer is Thanksgiving came and I got fat. I'm probably like 146 or 147, which is up from 140. I'll post it later for you guys, no worries. But right now, what I want to talk about is that you can tell that you're in a scam because scams cannot withstand objective evaluation. Okay, and when I say that, I can't stand when people try to scam me. What I really mean is I can't stand when people try to lie to me, promise me something that could never possibly be true, in order to try to convince me to part with my money. All right, now here's what's going to follow is a collection of DMs that I got from Instagram user Francisco Higgins underscore. And, unfortunately, I wasn't able to capture all the messages before he deleted them, but I get this DM from Francisco Higgins that's like, hey, bro, what's up? How's it going? Where are you located? I'm talking to him. I'm like foolishly telling him what state I live in. Oh, I live in New England, and what's your job? I told him, I work as an assistant professor and blah, blah, blah. Technically, I'm an adjunct, but I left that out. But, he's asking me all these questions like, what's your job? And would you like to make more money? And he tells me he's based in LA, and I told him I'm based in New England. And the first thing that really set me off was he asks, so, what time over there? As if, like, I think all Americans would know the time difference between like Boston and Los Angeles or New York and Los Angeles. So anyway, same as you, but forward 3 hours. That's awesome. Are you married? Question mark. So I don't know if he was interested or not, but I just asked, why are you asking me all these questions, bro? He says, cause I know there are so many pretty ladies there, LAMO. Like, a couple things set me off this. Like, I'm the only person I know who types cuz, C-O-S, and so it was weird to see him also do that. But, I occasionally get these kind of messages, and I'm expecting later for him to ask me to part with my money. And so later on in the conversation, some time passes, and he eventually does say, yeah, I've been involved in crypto as early as 2014 when I purchased my first Bitcoin, profited in the long term till 2017 pump when it went 100x. I was just a salesman, blah, blah, blah. And now, due to all this stuff, I have an expert portfolio manager who trades my crypto on an enhanced platform and returns weekly fixed ROI. If you're wondering, that just means return on investment. Like, he's basically setting me up here and promising me that I'm going to earn like a ton of money like this. He says I have 35 Bitcoins. That's about $250,000. And he earns as much as 25% weekly. I told him down here that I put $500 into ETH, Bitcoin, and Litecoin. That's combined, not 500 into each. And I lost like almost all of it. Hold on. I did that earlier this year. And hold on, I'm going to try to find you guys my Coinbase account just so you can see, like, how am I doing right now on Bitcoin. Hold on, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it says here that I have about $328 in Bitcoin, or in all three of those cryptos right now. So I did lose, like, 40% on it. So I start telling him how I really don't believe in Bitcoin as a long-term investment strategy for the reason that Bitcoin doesn't really produce a asset of any kind. So, for example, when we are investing in, say, a hotel company, that hotel company provides some kind of service that other people can use, and they're competing with other businesses to try to hopefully build the best service possible. And if you invest in like a farm, they're making something that other people can use. And Bitcoin isn't really doing any of that because, like, Bitcoin isn't a company, so to speak. It's kind of like a currency, And the value of it comes kind of from the value of a Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency is sort of tied to how people perceive its value to be, more so than those other things, because they're not backed by any sort of tangible asset. So I'm trying to explain that to him and so on. He's telling me like, I don't have these messages sadly, so I can't read them. But he's telling me like, oh, he's bringing up the expert portfolio manager, blah blah blah, and how, I should just be more educated about Bitcoin. Meanwhile, I'm asking him some like basic questions about it, and I'm not convinced that he understands. And what really stuck out to me was he told me that he earns as much as 25% weekly, and then he also said something like expert traders earn 40 to 200%. And so I had asked him at that time, like, what is the highest math class you took? And he said, why are you asking me this? At which time I said, the real reason I'm asking you is just because I'm not fully convinced that you understand what percentage growth means. And at this point, I think he realized he wasn't going to be able to scam me. But, I said, like, check this equation out, right? And here's the equation. Hold on. It's compound interest. I think I typed in compound interest equation. Was it this? I want to find the exact one. It wasn't this exact one, but it doesn't really matter, right? What really matters is that I showed this formula here, principal times 1 plus rate over n times nt. The one that I did was just like, a little bit different form, but the same idea here. That's very easy to calculate, percentage growth over time. And so, I pull up this formula here, and I said, he says, I'm well aware of the statement I made earlier on because I got to understand how the system works with the trader I work with. I said, so you make 25% a week? He says, yes, 25%. I said, okay, so we're going to use that equation together and expose this fraud for what it is. He says, well, it's no fraud, and I have payout receipts to show for that. And I said, okay, you're promising me I can invest $100. He says, I have been investing with this trader for 9 months, and I constantly make withdrawals and cash outs. And so I want to show you guys what it actually means to make 25% in a week, and I have a spreadsheet here that can do that. Now, if I look at this spreadsheet here, the week number is right here. So on the first week, how much will I earn? On the second week, third week, and so on. The starting money I have is 100. I had to copy it a bunch of times just because I'm a noob at spreadsheets. But basically, like, I start with $100, right? And I'm going to make $25, 25% a week. That's what this guy's claiming he can do. Now, on an initial investment of $100, if I made 25% each week, for 52 weeks, that's how many weeks there are in a year, if I'm not mistaken, then the amount of money that I would earn at the end of 1 year of doing his strategy would be $10,947,644, which just seems absurd. I really wish I had the next message. I hope it shows up again, but I'm pretty sure he tried to delete it, or Instagram deleted it somehow. But we had gotten into another calculation where he said he's been doing this for 9 months. Yeah, I've been doing this for 9 months, and I constantly make withdrawals and cash outs. Later on here, you can barely see the clip of the 500 down here, but he says like that I need to invest a minimum of $500. So what I did was I took the calculation out, right? And I did 500 instead. So I'm going to have 500 here. I'm going to go pull the 500 down all the way to here. He says he's been doing it for 9 months, right? So if he's been doing it for 9 months, that's 75% of a year. He's been doing it for 39 weeks, right? So instead of being B53, it's going to be B40 here. He says he started with $500 and grows at 25% a week. That should mean that I should be able to make 3 million. How do I read this number? $3,009,265.54. So I wrote him after these messages, which unfortunately I did not screenshot all of them, and I said, so what you're saying is if I start and give you $500 in 9 months, have you earned in 9 months approximately $3 million, somewhere in that neighborhood, to prove that your tactic for investing actually works? And he said, well, obviously not, because that's unrealistic. At which time I basically just lost my fucking mind, because he's promised. I'm sure he's DM'd at least 100 more people since he DM'd me, and he's promising them that they're gonna make 25% rather a week. And when you actually put it up to any kind of scrutiny whatsoever, he fucking, gets scared, tells you that, I'm not being realistic, even though I'm just taking the claims that he made and tried to calculate my expected earnings based on the claims that he made, and tells me, that's not realistic. And what's really going on is he's just trying to get you to part with your money. Like, give him $500 here and there. He's going to pretend he's trading it for a while and then completely cut off contact with you. If you look at my Instagram DMs right now, you can see there's just 3 messages here where this dude deleted all of them. I'm not sure if he deleted them or if Instagram does that automatically, but he definitely blocked me once he realized that I was exposing his scam. So if you ever talk to people like this, I'm not saying that all people who trade with Bitcoin are scammers, but if someone tries to promise you, ridiculous exponential growth, most people who do that don't really understand what exponential growth really means, how to calculate it, and so on. And they just want to get you to take your money, which you tried to earn, and put it into their pockets, and they don't really give a shit about making your life better. And that is something that I just cannot support, okay? And no scam can survive an objective evaluation of its projected promises. So just keep your eyes out. Don't get scammed. If you get nervous, just delete that person. If you get a random DM from someone, they never want to help you. They always want to fuck you. So please be careful. Alright, my rant's over. I just really hate people like this. And anyway, I wanted to make a video about it. Peace.